All right. In the last slide, we talked about Ebbinghaus, but now I want to talk about some of the things that your teachers gave me. I did ask some of the teachers, what advice do you have for the students as far as studying and planning to study? I got three of them to respond very quickly. Miss Meyer, she says, there are five things, and think about Ebbinghaus. Remember, the more times you see something, the better off you are. So you wouldn't do all five of these things on the same day. You might do two of them, and then you come back and see another couple the next day or the day after. But think about these five things that Miss Meyer gave to me. She said, of course, complete the study guide. And Miss Meyer is going to be giving out hers on Friday. Complete the study guide, number one. Number two, rewrite the notes. Most of you have taken notes in your classes. It's important that you take those out and reread them, rewrite them, look at them. If you look through something you don't understand it, highlight it. Put a star on it. Talk to the teacher the next day about that, or call a friend that you know that's in that class that might be able to help you. Number three that Miss Meyer says is draw pictures. In math, science, even in history, diagrams, drawings, things of that nature really can help. Those visual type of things. Many of you have been using thinking maps ever since you were in middle school. Apply thinking maps to some of the things that you're learning. Those are they're exceptionally helpful, especially in history classes and those types of materials. A fourth thing that is brought up by Miss Meyer is to quiz yourself. Some people, you have your notes. Let's say you rewrite your notes, you can divide the paper in half. This side you write or create a question. And when you create a question, do it in this manner. Pretend you're the teacher and you're writing the final exam. Based on the notes that you have, what question would you write? Put that question here. On the other side of the half of the paper, write the answer. Fold it in half, quiz yourself. Very simple idea here, but it's very powerful, especially if you make this type of a note or question paper and then review it the next day or 2 days later. That Ebbinghaus thing really starts to kick in. And fifth, Miss Meyer says, quiz someone else or have someone else quiz you. Study partners are a good idea. That's something I'll kick in on the next slide, but get someone that you know is an intelligent person to agree to work with you a little bit. I'm not saying you have to work with this person for hours and hours. It's something as simple as a 3 to 5 minute phone call. Use the questions that you have and run them through with that person. Ask them to do the same for you. After Ms. Meyer, I also got something from Mr. Davide. Mr. Davide will be giving out his final exam reviews today, actually. And you'll have the rest of the week to work on those in class. One of the things that he says and some of the advice he says is it's an entire semester's worth of material. It can seem overwhelming. But if you break it up, little pieces and little chunks, day by day, you can get through the material and you'll have a better feeling about it. An example that he gave is one of his classes has their exam 7 days from now. They also have 7 chapters that they've gone over this semester. One of his suggestions is a chapter a day. Now, Ebbinghaus says you should review a little more than that, because what that would mean is you only see chapter 1 one time. Me, I would say study maybe 2 chapters a day, and then you can review them again early next week. And finally, Miss Sessa, she gave out her final exam reviews on Monday, a couple days ago. She said that one of the main things you have to remember as a student is the study guide only benefits you if you complete it and use it prior to the exam. You can't complete this thing right before the exam and expect it to help you out, because you won't have multiple exposures. The study guide is personal to each student, so it may not look the same for everyone. Some people remember certain parts of the semester better than others. So they may have a lot of material that they need to review here, whereas you don't, because you know it. And you may go more into detail in something that was later in the semester because it was something that you had difficulty with. So that's something that's got to be remembered as well. I want to say a special thank you to Miss Abrams, I guess, and Mr. Davide and Miss Sessa for sending these things in to me. I'm sure if I went to every single teacher, they would tell you many of the same things. Multiple exposures, take your time, review things in multiple ways, not just your notes, but reviews, study guides, review your old tests. Unit tests are a great way to look at things that might end up on an exam as well. Thank you, teachers. More on it later.